very first introduction to driving, so I'm going to change my ask here for this dog. I have previously wanted her to walk behind me or beside me in this pen, so I put her on a lead and I tell her I want her to walk in front. So we walk at the stalk to kind of try to give her the idea that we're actually going to work here. And she walks to the butts, so that's not going to peel them off the fence, so I have to pull her in front of me. I'm going to use all my commands here. She doesn't know what I'm saying to her at this point, but that's the beauty of doing this on a line. You can make the command happen when you say it. So I try to get her to watch the stalk. I want her in front of me looking at the stalk. When I give her a flank command, I want her to come between me and the stalk, and I'm going to use the leash to do all of this. On a dog that knows their commands, you can do this without a lead. So when the stalks start to escape, I'm going to pull her out on the square flank to cover. So here it is in slow motion. She cannot parallel the sheep. She has to let go of them, so I use the lead to get her to do that. Once the stalk turn direction or we get them stopped, I'm going to tell her their walk. So you can see she really needs to be on the eye of the stalk. You don't drive stalk from the butt. You drive for them from the eye. So one split off there and she didn't really notice that there was a problem, so I'm going to try to create that little situation again for her. This is just one way you can use to get the dog to try to cover. So she's not really sure about being in front of me. We just work on that a little bit. But you can put your sheep in a corner, and when one splits off, you pull the dog out and on a flank to cover. So I'm going to pull her on a flank, and she does flank there to cover those two, and then I tell her there. On the there, I want her to check up and start to watch the stalk. So it's just a lot of stuff that you cover pretty much right away when you start doing this on a line. I know some trainers that start puppies like this, as well as letting them off the line and doing some fetching at the same time. You can see here she's really starting to understand what driving is, though. So she's got the sheep going along the fence, and they start to peel off and speed up, and she actually arcs her head out and covers that. Now, a lot of people would think, oh, she's kind of looking at the ground, she's sniffing, she's not paying attention. But no, that is not true. This is an upright dog, and she is controlling those stalk. So right there, she kind of goes to the butts, and she pushes them off. So I flank her, I call her on and away. So she parallels, I have to pull her head out. Once her head comes out and the sheep stop, I can tell her there and let her turn in. And she did a great job. That one white one was looking at her, and she just continued to walk on her path. And you can see she's on the eye of the stalk here. So every time I pull her out, I might change directions. I might pull her out and tell her there, and then flank her back towards the butts to get the sheep moving. I do want her to understand that part of this is controlling the movement of the livestock, and she does have to do that with the eye. So that little slow motion thing there was just me kind of working with getting her to come inside. It's a really, really great first session for her. She really seems to understand driving.